guy who would like you on the show would go like, say whatever you want. I'm like, okay, I want to say double-headed dildo. And you'll say it to the actress, and she'll give you that look like,
yeah, you're out.
Go off the script. We know you're funny, so go off the script. Okay, it's like, hey, honey, there's a double-headed dildo and a shot of tequila waiting for you. What? And then she storms off.
Yeah, and then we got to get her out of her trailer because she won't come out. She's in her trailer eating.
Like, acting is boring. Me no like it.
She's in her trailer eating. We can't get her out.
I find that the most boring shit. I mean, I know you're a real actor, but it's like, ugh. Thank God boring. I don't get up every day and go like, I wish I was an actor.
But when you,
I wish I was an Equus or something.
Equus?
What's the horse thing? War horse.
Equus.
Well, there's now the new one, War Horse.
Equus was
the guy who fucks a horse.
It was a whole thing. Yeah, it was Richard
Greek, motherfucker.
Richard Burton was in Equus.
We need a prison guy to come in and tell us what it was about. That's like when you're in prison, you start reading that shit.
Scared straight. Well, let me tell you something right here.
Jay, this is cool, dude.
We're almost done. I want to ask you two more things. I want to talk about Dave Loves Porn. Okay. You did, the one I watched was you and Whitney Cummings.
Yes. Very
Now, there's a green screen behind you, and porn is playing
behind us.
But do you see you have to see the porn because you're commenting on it.
Yes.
As you do it. It's like Mystery Science 3000.
It's different. It's reversed.
With vaginal penetration.
True.
And anal and mouth and P to M and P to V.
There's a lot of dirty and
So is it uncomfortable to sit there and watch porno with Whitney Cummings?
No, you know what? It was
or are you subconsciously sending a message like, yeah, suck it.
Welcome to my home. Welcome to my man cave.
Oh, you're getting some pointers, honey, because the after party is just the two of us.
I've worked with Whitney and like Chelsea and Margaret, and they were really great. And Amy did one too, but we only did 8 shows, so hopefully.
But you're watching somebody get like their dick sucked sitting next to these people.
Yeah, but I think it's cool, and I think these girls were so funny and cool.
You weren't uncomfortable watching like a guy blow a load in a lady's face.
No, not at all.
I think I'd be very uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know where you are with your porn now, but with the dudes, it was like dude talk, and like you bring out Greg Fitzsimmons and Adam Carolla and Bill Burr and just like Jim Norton, and these guys are like they're really fun to bounce around with. But with the ladies, it's refreshing. But I guess the only uncomfortable stuff was when you bring out the old porn stars, and like I want to really celebrate them and tribute them, and I don't want it to be like one of these like, look at these people, it's like, because I don't feel that way about them at all. I'm like, as a comic, I feel like a fucking broken toy because I can imagine how these people do because everybody's like asking them.
They think they're like fucking Alec Baldwin, like real famous.
Let them live there, whatever. But like the ones from the golden age, like I feel like that must have been such a rough fucking and tumble business. And
literally rough fuck.
Yeah, honestly, and it's like. Dude, the fact that people are getting it and like giving them their due is great. And more importantly, it was important to me since I really don't give a shit about being famous or anything like that, but doing stuff that I find funny and that you would find funny, he would find funny, and that we wouldn't be like watching it just because we know the people in it and go like, you know what? Even like I don't think what we did was great, but I think it was good
for him. It's like, no, seriously, good for him.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want people to go like proud of being a part of it and not be like, I did it as a favor and like I don't find it that good,
Whitney seemed very uncomfortable sitting next to Ron Jeremy, not because of...
That's a great thing about it.
Not because of his porn, but because of his incessant, nonstop trying to make her laugh.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
With his stupid fucking vaudevillian like, hey, you hear about the one-armed fisherman? He caught a fish this big. Hey-oh! Like he couldn't stop.
I have porn with him doing stand-up in it.
Really?
Yeah, like he's always doing
Whitney's watching him blow himself and take a load in his own mustache, and that doesn't bother her at all. But he's doing like, wah, wah, like snapping and hitting, making noises with his mouth, and she's like just scooching over on the couch. That's more offensive to her than his like him doing anal and Seika.
Yeah, it's really weird because Whitney was so much fun because like she would definitely come at it with like as an adult woman, like do these women have good childhoods? Did they sign contracts? And like, she's so cool that she like, I was yelling at her, like, you're ruining the male fantasy of it. Like, you never look at these women and like go like, I hope she had a good childhood. It's like, it's like whatever she did, I hope they do it again because it's great.
What is there a girl guest you had where you were like, wow, this chick obviously watches a lot of porn, like that knew all the beats? It was
Margaret and I have both done so much like porn award stuff. Like I've done the AVN adult film awards.
Did you ever get invited to like an after party, if you know what I mean?
You know what? I'll tell you.
Are you the one guy?
No, I'll tell you by like, You know what's so funny? It's like
I'm sorry.
they're so
But it'd be
so
total.
cool.
It'd be total Attell. And like you're like, oh Jesus, nothing works out. Like those the porn awards.
I've already
Everyone's
jerked
just-
off to every girl there.
Everyone's just
so.
sucking and fucking, and they're like, "Get out, we're full." And you're like, "How did I?"
No, Norton is the guy who-
occupancy 28 people, and you're the 29th guy into the gangbang, and they're like, "Beat it, Attell."
No, I would. That's not my thing, but I do like fall in love with the porn stars. Like like there's something about them that it's like, I'm like she must have felt different in high school too. I see it from the other way. It's like I don't give a shit that this guy's shooting loads all over him. It's like if they look like Tracy Adams, we have movies like Tracy Adams is like this uber fucking porn star from the 70s. She still does porn a little bit, but like. We wanted her on the show, and I don't think we got, we only could use so many porn stars, but it's like, she's like beautiful, and like, she's like a homebody. It's like reading her bio, like, she loves animals. It's like, I could just imagine her, like,
she does. She
I'll be
loves
back,
beavers,
princess, and then she goes out for a gang bang, comes home. But, it's like,
what porn
I love
people
them.
were guests? Ron Jeremy.
Well, Ron Jeremy, Paul Thomas. Do you know him?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul Thomas is a legend, both behind and in front of the screen, and we were really lucky to get him. We had also our Herschel Savage, which is an episode that will come up eventually. He's
always
very
like,
cool.
He's always like the stepdad.
He's a comic too.
He's always like the stepdad.
Yes. He's worked his way through the porn thing from being the young hunk to the stepdad. But a lot of the guys that we contacted died. Jamie Gillis, John Leslie, these are all legends. And like, I knew Jamie Gillis. I got to meet him, like one time, and he was so cool. And he really did he's like one of the founding fathers of gonzo porn. We could talk porn all night, couldn't we?
My well is.
But John Leslie
I don't have
just
a lot
passed
to
away.
say
We have a
about
lot of
it.
stuff in there.
What did he die of?
Heart attack. These guys are all retired and everything. But, they're like anybody else. I mean, they're like rock stars.
No, they're not like anybody else.
They're like
Dave.
rock stars.
They
dude.
take
They
loads to
partied.
the face, and that's their job.
I don't know.
When you say you guys have been great, thanks a lot. That's their thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
It's a load of the
Like
face.
when you were at the Borgata January 14th with Jim Norton going, all right, thanks a lot, everybody. To them, that's a load on their ass crack from a stranger or a midget or somebody covered in cake, perhaps.
I love.
What's your favorite subcategory of porn?
Well, what I like,
Covered
I'll
in
tell you,
cake.
I
Fatties.
love retro porn now, but it is a little like, it gets a little monotonous, okay? But my favorite subcategory would be Pierre Woodman private casting things auditions. This is from the 80s and
They're
90s.
like, and I'm not even a real casting agent.
And it's funny how he was a cop in France, and from like just questioning these prostitutes, he turned that into this mega business. But the best part is
so he would cast.
Yeah,
the porno is the actual casting of the porno?
Yeah, and he would have sex with them. And then he would go like, you like to travel? And like, they'd be like, yeah, whatever. They're all like Hungarian, Romanian. This is like the 80s and 90s, okay?
Oh.
So then the next thing you'd see is like these elaborate photo shoots. Like they're in Fiji. And like, one guy, it's like the same three guys in every porn, but the girl is like in a waterfall and she's getting it like 2 dicks in the ass. It's like, you like to travel, right? Careful what you wish for. It's like one of those weird fantasy island things.
So your favorite subcategory of porn is the
casting. I love that. I think that's great.
Would you be in one?
I wouldn't be in one, but it's not my deal. It's like, I'm a fan.
If they just needed a guy, like, you'd be really helping us out.
I would be the fifth man in the whatchamacallit, circle jerk, like the guy who's just there.
Every
like,
free swing.
He's still wearing his watch.
I need every free swinging dick, bud. I got a bad feeling about this one, LT.
I'm sorry, I can't send you home. Do it. Do that whole scene. That's so fucking great.
got a bad feeling about this one, bub. I'm sorry, man. I need every free swinging dick I got.
And what's the name of his wife? The girl. It's like, I got to go home, Peg, or something.
I don't remember.
Meg.
John C. Reilly and
That was
John C. McGinley in Platoon.
That guy, is he alive?
What do you think? Oh, yeah, remember he's on Scrubs?
He's fucking great.
What do you think, LT? Guy like that gonna make it? No, he goes, what do you think, bub? Guy like that gonna make it? Talking about the lieutenant. And then Berenger doesn't say anything, but then John C. McGinley, what's his name? John McGinley, he goes, what do you think? Guy like that gonna make it? And then Berenger says nothing, but then John McGinley goes, right? Huh? That's exactly what I was thinking. There's no fucking way. No fucking way.
And then in Wall Street, he was in that too. The first
Fucking asshole, man.
He was great. He was great in that. They tried to find a character like that for Wall Street too. Never sleeps.
Scrubs.
Yeah, it was tough. But he's a great guy. He's a great actor. But honestly, thanks for having me on and talking about the porn thing.
Let's do it again.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
You
this is like
are
fucking
by
like
far
how many hours of comedy talk was that?
probably 2. Yeah,
And I only got a good 40-minute in me about comedy.
I got a good 40.
See, I hate talking about comedy with anybody but other comics because I feel like it's self-indulgent.
I mean, how could you? What are you gonna go out tonight? Do one of your bits?
I'm going to definitely do a spot tonight.
No, but when people that don't do comedy try to talk like shop, like I saw you at the Improv. You were doing one of your acts.
Yeah, it always makes you feel like.
What are you doing?
Like
Were you doing it? What are you going out tonight to do a skit? You doing a skit?
Yeah, where do you get the idea for your shtick? And it's like a 19-year-old kid. Shtick.
Where do you get the idea for your shtick? Or how about when you say something like genuine and the person like they think they're helping you, and they go ba-dum-bum. I'm like, no, that means terrible.
Or the best thing is the 4 to 5 in terms of attractive girl critic. Oh, does it all have to be so dirty? You know, like, I don't know. Do we have to act like we're on Thorazine to get a point across? Don't you think I'll listen if you just talk?
I always said about the workplace and human resources, women, and I probably should.
Here we go now.
Yeah. They're never going to be equal in the workplace.
Yeah.
If you have to treat them like fucking toddlers.
Who, women?
Yeah, like if I'm telling a joke that involves like a cock and a rabbi, and then the kid walks in the room and you go, hey, whoa, my kids are here, man, chill out.
All right.
Like, I mean, I know you need to.
Oh, you mean in telling a joke at work? Okay, I see.
Yeah, like if you work at an office and
Right.
I'm telling you a dick joke and like, you know, Susie walks in and you got to like go, you give me eyes like, look out behind you. It's literally like a 4-year-old walked into the room and you have to stop telling your blowjob story.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I used to have office jobs all the time, and like it was filthy, dirty, fucking.
But
disgusting.
you do need some type
Now
of
it's so
regulation because guys.
Oh yeah, honestly.
But
I mean,
it's weird now. It's to the point now like you've ensured that you'll never meet your mate at work. You are
I don't
not
know. Guys
allowed
are so
to.
metro now. They're like chicks. Anyhow, I mean,
Huh?
I've seen guys grown more than women at a show. Like, you know, so I'm watching. Boo! You know, like these guys are like.
It is weird.
They're like weird.
Like you'll talk about like you said, wiping your ass with a baby, lighting a polar bear on fire and a clown's dick on fire, and then you'll go, hey, but you know, it could be worse. We could all be in Uganda. And the place will go, oh, and you're like, isn't it weird sometimes the nights where they decide where the line is?
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute, I just wiped my ass with a live baby and threw it in the Cleveland River. And you guys are like, don't mention Africa. It bums us out.
Yeah, it bums us out because we can't do anything or we don't
But
want to
keep sucking that clown's dick.
But I will say this, because I've done a lot of USO shows, and that like when you go overseas and you see like all the women that are in our military, and then like you try to do like, you know, dang, you're like, this woman knows how to fly a gunship. She could kill you.
Yeah.
This woman over here like controls all the logistics on the base. It really does like set the tone of like, you don't want to belittle anybody like that. But then you end up talking about, it's hot, you know, because then you realize you're a horrible comic and that you fucking didn't come up with any jokes. But everybody loves a good masturbation joke. Like I did one for the ladies, which they laughed at, which I go like, I know you're not allowed to have vibrators, but there's a reason that road isn't paved out front. Am I right? Bumpy, bumpy, bumpy. And like everybody's like, and then they all laugh because the girls were like loving it. So,
but see, that's the concession you and I make. Where like guys like Hicks, they could never go to a USO show.
Well, he would entertain the Taliban
and make it and make it work. But it's that concession, and you always have been a huge USO guy.
Yeah, those were some good shows, man.
Wow.
It's really difficult sometimes to do those shows because you're not like they would love to like get like famous people, but the majority of the USO shows are like bands you've never heard of, comics you've never heard of.
We got Brooks and Dunn's brother.
Yeah, like some kind of weird, like just out of Vancouver.
Oates
really?
and Garfunkel.
Just out of Vancouver for the last 30 years. You know them. They're Hatchet Wound. They're a metal Christian band.
You guys like Chris Rock? Well, he's got a little brother. Here is.
What's your favorite comedy special of all specials? Like that you could watch over and over and over. It's hard to watch a comedy special.
I mean, Pryor's hour where he really crushed it.
Live on the Sunset Strip?
Was it the Red? There's two. There's one that's
it's hard to...
like what I said about Hicks, there's Pryor, there's more bad recordings of Pryor than there are good, in my opinion.
I
where you're
kind
listening
of
to
agree
like
with that.
really fucked up people laughing at nothing. But his hour where he's talking about Jim Brown and smoking crack, lighting himself on fire when he shot his car.
Going to Africa, does he have that one?
Yeah, like, nigga, just humming, just funk. And they thought he fucking stunk because he had on soap.
Yeah. What's that cologne? Yeah, that's a great album. And I bought that when I was a kid because that's the one. Is that Bicentennial? Is it?
No, that's No,
his fucking picture, his albums were like, man, out of control. Like for a fucking.
I've loved, but I got to tell you, the one I probably listened to more in my comedy infancy was Dennis Miller's The Off-White album.
Oh, another great joke writer.
Like that's 60 minutes. Like it's just perfection. Like there's no room for improvement, and
Right.
it also was a